You don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table. We chop up local and global events locally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. In the house and your job parking lot before you clock in. I don't wanna miss a second of this HD content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn you back until you start try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey everybody, come on in. Welcome to the hood table. Hey Mark, you got me playing background. You got me playing background. You'll have to turn off the other screen or whatever you got us playing on. Come on in, everybody. Hit the thumbs up button. Hey everybody. Hey Mark. I'm gonna mute him so he can get a chance to get me out the background.
For me?
You got it? Yeah, I don't hear us in the background anymore. Okay. You muted. You muted yourself. I don't hear us in the background anymore.
Okay, so I'm unmuted now.
Okay. Do you got us on the computer or on your on a laptop?
On my phone.
Okay. Okay, you're gonna have to take
just on my phone.
Yeah, you're gonna have to turn the volume down on the video. Because you muted yourself. I don't hear us in the background anymore.
How about now? Okay, so I'm unmuted now.
Okay, do you got us on the computer or on your
Wow.
You gotta turn us down. You gotta turn the video down. Down on the video. Because you muted yourself. The volume.
Okay, now.
I don't hear it in the background. Do you got us on the computer or your down video? Okay, do this. The volume.
Okay, now.
I don't hear it in the background. Okay.
How's that?
Can
you hear me now?
Checking to see if I can hear my feedback.
I turned my computer off.
Yeah,
because I did have Facebook on my computer.
Okay, that probably fixed it then. That probably fixed it. Because it was probably playing the video from the Facebook or something. From what I posted.
I don't know how that happened because I'm not moving on.
I don't know. Sometimes you might have a video on the phone too, and then once you go into the live, it might be playing the feedback from the video. So,
oh, you know what? I did have it on. You know what? I did have it on. I had you on the YouTube way before. I never closed that page down. My bad.
It's okay. It's okay. We good now. But how you doing? Welcome to the Hood Table again. This make sure what
right.
Is it here?
Second time. Second time.
Yes.
Maybe 3.
Yes, it might be 3 times. Yep, we had interviewed you before about your book on the right road now, and now we got you back on the show, and we are going to discuss the TV show Black AF, which means black as fuck. Now, you said you watched. I know some people watched the show, and some people was like they liked this. Some people couldn't even finish one episode, and a lot of people is giving the show a lot of criticism and backlash. So let me know how you feel about the show, or have you tuned in? Have you watched a full episode or several episodes?
I actually watched the full episode. And I was going to start the second one earlier, just to get even a better feel, to give it even a better chance. And in 83, 84, something like that, The Cosby Show came out. I don't know if you remember it or not, or if you were, teenager. I was a teenager at the time, and it talked about, it had the doctor and a lawyer married. I grew up right off the boulevard on 36th Avenue, on Paxton Boulevard in North Omaha. And so in our neck of the woods, or in our neighborhood, that didn't happen a lot. And so when we saw that show back then, Bill Cosby was trying to show what we could be while we were living in what we were. And so when we couldn't identify with it. And I thought about that when I said earlier, I wrote that I just couldn't identify with the people who were on the show and the characters, especially like the father. And the thing I had to think about was, what about those who do identify with it? What about those who do come from a family kind of affluent like that, and able to see themselves on the big screen, just like the television show Black-ish, which I'm understanding that he is the producer of. And so this may have been something that his life is patterned after or like, and he mixed this Black-ish and Grownish and all these shows that he has coming out. And so, although it wasn't my cup of tea, and although I couldn't relate, I can understand what it's like to be misrepresented on television or in the media with who you are as an individual. And as you know, we come in all different shades and colors, and from a lot of different backgrounds, because the reality is, just because I grew up in the hood doesn't mean that the guy next to me, who happens to be even darker than me or identify with being black as much as I do, may not have come from the same walk of life that I have. And so, although it's not relevant to me, I can see where it could be relevant to someone else, so that we are not just painting with one brush or a color of what being black is, because it just isn't always, what you see in the hood, dap and high five, and so on and so forth. So,
well, I honestly watched the whole season, but I have to say, when I first saw that the show was coming out, when the buzz was going around about the show, and I heard the title of the show, I didn't think it was going to be like that. I mean, from the show, Black as fuck, or Black AF, or whatever they call it. I thought it was going to be like, I don't even know if I want to call what. Oh Lord, I want to choose my words properly. I thought it was going to be like really, really hood and really ghetto, but this to me is like a bougetto kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I guess I misinterpreted the name of the show, and then once I started watching the first episode, I'm like, these uppity folks, not uppity as in like prima donna or anything like that, but they're rich, they got a lot of money, you know, their dad is famous, their mother's a lawyer. I'm sure the kids all go to the best schools, and they talk. To me, they even talk proper, but ghetto at the same, or hood at the same time. But would you really call the way they talk as hood or ghetto? Is that just a stereotype?
I think it's a stereotype. I mean,
I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, when we grew up, think about this though. When we grew up in the Midwest, we certainly have a different dialect than those down south.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, you use a word like crunk. They get, before lit and before, hit you dig and so on and so forth. But even in Nebraska, where we're from, most of us talk with what others would call country or proper English.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't recent times that you could even hear that you would hear how we speak, like the rest of the world, like the New Yorks, like the New Orleans. Now it's all one. You can't tell where someone is from just because their dialect or their what we call an accent, so to speak. So I think their name, Black as Fuck, like you said, I think this is more Black-ish.
Let me in now. Bill
Oh,
Gates,
Lord.
Donald Trump, let me in now. What's up?
She just coming through the house. Kick the door in there. Kick the door.
Boom. You know me.
Oh Lord, we was waiting on you to come in. Mark was just telling me a little bit. We were just discussing a little bit about this TV show, Black AF, Black as Fuck. And Mark, go ahead and continue what you were saying. I gotta grab something real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was saying that to me, this is more of a Black-ish instead of Black as Fuck, because when you think Black as Fuck, you think hood.
Keep it open.
You think.
That's good.
Huh?
I was talking to Janavia.
Oh, so I said hello. But I think that to me, this is more Black as Fuck. I mean, more Black-ish than Black as Fuck. Again, I think far too many times we tear each other down because I can't say that a lot of people, because I am lighter complected, would think that they question my blackness. Because I have the lighter color eyes and the light skin, and they will. But my experience is still the same. When I go to a job interview, I'm treated just the same, even though people wouldn't think that I am. Oh yeah, sure. And
I don't know. I mean, this colorism thing that's going on now is blowing. Okay, see, I keep seeing a reflection, but this colorism thing that's going on now is annoying. We'll talk on that later, but go ahead with what you.
I mean, I just think that I don't want to me personally, I don't want to brush it off or say that it just because it doesn't represent me, it doesn't represent Black people.
Right.
Again, we come in all shapes, colors, different sizes, and grow up in all different kind of areas, from the north, south, east, and west, from the hood to the prevalent. I work in LA, where I see a lot of people who look like me, who drive, the Benzes and the Bentleys, and their children are going to some of the most prestigious schools, and they're living in the hills of LA. I get an opportunity to see that, and it doesn't. I think the reality is when they get back to the world, to the real world, they're treated just like anyone else. When someone doesn't know your
pedigree,
your lineage, your pedigree, you're treated by what they see, and what they see is your skin first, no matter where you come from or where you're trying to go to. So
yeah, I agree. Like you said about the hood, like we all grew up in the hood, all of us. A lot of people did that we know.
Yeah.
And there were sometimes people who would live like right on the same block as me, and they didn't hang out in the hood as much. So they didn't know like a lot of the terms or a lot what was going on or a lot of the slang or a lot of the, you know, that street culture. You know what I mean? And sometimes they would sound like how we would say they sound proper. Like how you like you said your kids, Carmel Diva, like you like how y'all in the hood and y'all talk really proper like
I mean, I'm telling you, my kids, if we were to sit down and have a conversation and record it, it'd be like, oh, they sound so proper and so nice. What schools did you send them to? I'm like, public.
Are they from?
Well, except for the little one. The little one, she did go to private school for like 4 or 5 years, but I'm like, no, they grew up in the hood, born and raised.
Yeah. Well, again, like I was telling Mark, Carmel Diva, in the beginning that I misinterpreted, or I guess the name of the show, I just assumed it was going to be, hey, Maurice, what's up? Maurice said, hey
Maurice.
Speak. He said, speak, Brother Mark.
No, don't let him speak. We're going to mute him every chance we get.
Oh, that's nice. The show, I just thought it was gonna be just really ratchet, like, and I know that's probably stereotypical of me because some people are like, what they mean black as fuck? Them people aren't even, they're light, they're mixed, they got good hair, they speak kind of proper, like they're,
see,
you know, a lot of people interpret it as like in one of the episodes, I know Mark, you didn't get all the way to the end, so I don't want to give out no spoilers. But one of the episodes,
go ahead, you can do it.
The father, Kenya, he was telling one of his kids, you don't have to be from the hood or anything like that to be black as fuck. Because the girl was feeling like she wasn't black enough or something like that. So I'm like, what to y'all, what does black as fuck or black AF mean to y'all, like personally?
It's to me, it's more of a mentality. You don't necessarily have to be from the hood to be hood. I mean, I know people who were born and raised in the hood, and you would sit and have a conversation with them and never know that they even know where the hood is. I have family members like that one of them, you would think, seriously, if you talked to her on the phone, you would think you were talking to a white girl from the valley in the 80s.
Yeah.
And that is so far from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the name, I don't know what I was expecting. I thought the show was funny. I mean, I've only seen like maybe 2.5 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, I laughed. I cannot sit here and lie and say
right.
I find a lot of the scenes funny. It's just like, I don't know. I guess what got me, and I'm not saying that I hated the show. I'm just it caught me by surprise. The way they act on the show just caught me by surprise. Like the way they talk to the kids, like the way he was calling his daughter Dick. You know, like, and the kids was
I can't say nothing because
Dad, you're a dick, Dad. And he's like, you're a dick. I'm like,
my kids said something like that to me. They're getting smacked in the mouth, period, point blank.
I don't know if I would call that black as fuck. I would call that,
but
kids getting away with a lot of things. But
if you knew my son, you would know why I call him a little asshole. He does stuff. So that's why I can relate to the daddy. Like, yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. But as far as the kid talking back and calling me an asshole back, oh no, that will never.
I think you got something to say, Mark. Look like you got something.
Oh no, I was just listening. Again, I think I'm black as fuck. even if I don't speak like it, because I can if I want to. I think it's, again, like Keontae said, it's a state of mind.
Yeah.
It's a mentality. How you walk, how you talk. I mean, I wouldn't want to be anything other than,
Right.
to be honest.
Right.
You know what I mean? The way you dance, the way you know, when you get ready, you grit your teeth, or just by the way you say, "Yo, what's up? What's happening?" When you throw the deuces up, it means something to us. And so I don't think
Right.
it has anything to do with where you come from. I think it's more a state of mind, and we ought to
Right.
be able to explain to everyone who is uh, of color, or black, African American, whatever I call. I'm black. I don't like to be called African American because I ain't never been to the continent of Africa,
Thank
and
you.
I'm not from Africa personally. So I like to be called black, is what I call myself. And so I do think that that they can be black. They may not be have the same background. We may not have the same background or the same experiences, but each of our experiences are valid and important. And at somewhere in life, those things may come in handy, or should come in handy, because all of us working
Right.
for the better good. We're going to
Right.
give each other an opportunity somewhere down the line.
Right. And I feel like you, where I always, like, I don't know, I guess growing up, I was like, I would think that we never used that term before, like, you black as fuck. We might say you hood, or you ghetto as fuck, or you
Ghetto.
crazy
Right.
AF, or you stuff like that. But this really makes me think that it really is a stereotype that, like you said, you don't even have to be from the hood to be black. It is a mental thing. But I watched the entire first season. Some parts I was like giving them the side eye, like, okay, the way the kids was walking away from the dad when he was trying to discipline them, telling them they can't do this and that, and they just walk off like whatever, and I'm like,
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
I'm like, I kept getting confused. I'm like, are we black as fuck, or are we white as fuck? Because you know what they say. Some kids, you can tell a black parent, you can tell a black kid, you can tell a white parent. That stereotype right there. Like,
Right.
how we see, like, some people, like, if you got two kids, black, white mama in the store, and they both throw temper tantrums.
Yeah, somebody getting snatched up, but we ain't gonna say who.
I've seen it so many times throughout my life where one to be like, stop, just quit it. I'm gonna take you in the car. The other one, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna beat you. Kid just shut.
Hey, y'all know the rule. Where you act up is where you get fucked up.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
Period.
I'm like totally confused. But yeah, they've been getting a lot of backlash because a lot of people is like, this isn't representing black as fuck or black AF or whatever.
But I mean, why? Why would you want them to get on there and perpetuate a negative stereotype? But I mean, why would you want them to get on there and perpetuate a negative stereotype? This is an upwardly mobile family. They're obviously affluent.
Mm-hmm.
They have their 5 or 6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
They are, it seems like they're hands-on. They are there with their kids. They're involved in their kids' lives. They're trying to better their kids. So
and see, I like what you said when you first started. You said, why would you want them to act that way? But some of the things that they are doing in the show, people think is that way. Like, some of the way they talk to each other and communicate is wrong. Some people just think it's entertainment. It's funny, because I cannot lie and say that sometimes I think some of the stuff they actually say in the show is what people might actually want to say to their kids. Like, you might be thinking in your head, this little,
See, to me, what I'm thinking is,
and some people won't.
See, what I'm thinking is,
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it has to be a show that entertains.
Yeah.
So there are going to be some humorous things thrown in there, but if you look at his history of making shows,
Mhm.
he always has something to make you think. So, like you described, some of the stuff that you kind of side-eyed,
Mhm.
it made you think about it. It made you stop and think about
It
it.
made me stop and think, like, why is you talking to them kids like that? That's what I'm saying. I watched the whole season, and I can't really say straight up one incident where I'm like, oh, that was a lesson right there. You know what I mean? I'm like that, but that's just me. And I watched the whole season. But again, I thought it was entertaining, but I see why some people is like, I don't want to watch the show. I'm not supporting the show. Like somebody said, them people don't even look like us. Like some people think to be black as fuck or black AF, you have to look like you're from the hood. You have to dress.
Why? We don't all look like that.
Walk like
I mean,
I don't know.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
Go ahead.
I had to go look up a girl to see that she was Quincy Jones'
Yeah, that's
daughter.
Quincy Jones'
I thought
oh,
she was white.
Rashida.
Yeah.
Rashida, yeah.
Yeah,
But did you see the
I
first
didn't
one
know.
when he said that she was mixed and he be talking
Yeah.
when he be talking
That's
about
when
me,
I
be
was
like,
like,
that's
let's
the
go
white
see
side
her.
coming out.
You know,
Because when I first looked, I was like, I kept looking, I'm like, that look like Rashida. I'm like, no. And my daughter was sitting here and she
I
was
don't.
like,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't see it doing well only because the identity. You know, it doesn't identify with the black community that we know so well.
but see, think of it this,
Like you
okay.
guys mentioned, talking. Go ahead. Yeah. Well, talk.
Go ahead.
And I said earlier, you know, when you talk about, I had a friend of mine who told me years ago that he didn't like Good Times when it first came on. Like what? Yeah, I didn't like Good Times. He's from Chicago, and we were in the military together. And we talked about it. He said he didn't like it, and the reason why he didn't like it is because the depiction of black people was they could never get out. No matter how close James got to getting that $4 job or $3 job, he never got out.
Never.
He never could get over the hump. And then we had to show the Jeffersons that said moving on up. We finally was moving up, and we were getting there. And then, you know, eventually, you know, we made it to the Cosby Show, and then we had all the offshoots of the Cosby Show. We were going to college, and we were doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
What we had then were shows that showed us what we could be. To continue to move forward, to press on, to be all you can be, and you can actually do whatever it is that you set your mind to. I can remember Michael on the Jeffersons wanted to be the first black president or
the militant.
Or
he was the
like
militant.
That. Remember? Yeah, he was a militant, but this is what he wanted to be.
Yeah.
And so we saw all that, and then we got to the stage where, you know, the different world, and they were in college, and everybody wanted to mimic that and go to college. What we have now is a world of NBA wives, some of these other reality shows,
the hip hop
of people doing, and I don't know, I'm gonna make some people mad. Nothing to be desired, if you will. NBA wives. I don't want my daughter to be an NBA wife. I want her to go to college. I want her to get an education. I want her to have her own for herself. And so if a man leaves her or dumps her or does whatever, she is able to stand on her own 2 feet, and she's not waiting for him to, you know, for his deals to go wrong and blah, 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 and all that. But I don't think that we should strive to be, you know, that. And I also look at this show, and I looked at it and I said, well, what is this show? Is it comedy? It could be just straight comedy.
Yeah.
But if your kid comes home talking to you like that because they're looking at this comedy,
that's what I was
then
saying.
It could be it could be a problem, because
it's gonna be a misunderstanding.
Michael got out of hand in Good Time. James took off his belt.
Yes, he did.
And so we all knew, oh, it's about to go down. When JJ would say something stupid, he'd collar him, and it was about to go down. This stuff here, they call the parent dicks and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Now, and what is it? What is it showing us? What is it depicting to us? I'm not talking about the outside world. I'm talking about to us. And we have to stop with the what do white people think. I don't care what white people think. To be honest with you, I care about what my brothers and my sisters think and what we're teaching us and how we're moving forward together. So that's one of the things that I think when we see on TV, we have to be cognizant of what we're showing to our kids, what we're seeing, and how we're depicting ourselves to us, not to them.
And I thought a lot of scenes were funny, but like you said, the scenes where, I mean, like all through the first season, the kids, all of them were so disrespectful, but they try to throw a kiki or a joke in it to make it, I mean, it's not even believable.
To smooth it out.
It's not even believable. Like, how many kids do you know growing up in the hood or anywhere? Well, I don't know anybody who got away with talking to their parents like that. Anytime at all. If they did, they wasn't living at home anymore, or they were missing some teeth, or you know what I mean?
Or they was missing.
They be like, well, where Tim at? The mom be like, oh, he can't come outside. He grounded because he at home trying to heal up.
Right.
But I don't know what I think Mark had to go out and come back in. But Maurice said about Florida Evans, he said that would have got off.
I seen that.
Florida wasn't hilarious. Oh yeah.
Florida did tend to get on your nerves. It'd be like, oh Lordy. She reminded me of a slave. And JJ was just so, even as a kid, I seen him as so buffoonish, just overly stupid. It was like, ain't you grown? Why are you this stupid to be? I mean, you have all these intelligent people around you. Why are you downplaying yourself?
I that too. Maurice said in the chat, he said, kids do that today. Kids get away with that today. I don't see it. I mean, I know it happens, but it's usually not in our area. If you know what I mean. I mean, I don't know. Karma Diva, do you see that in your family and your
see what
hood? The way these kids talking to their parents. I mean, I don't see that. I don't see that.
Not on any side of my family do kids talk like that. And I can say we got some of the smartest mouths I've ever seen. And trust me, like I said, my niece, she's 19 now. And even today, I still will check her. And she know it. I don't wait and pull you to the side. If you sitting there and you being disrespectful, you getting checked right where you stand.
Right.
I don't care how old you get. Just like if I was to get out of line, I would expect my aunties and uncles to say something to me to get me back in line. Like, wait a minute, I'm your aunt. You don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And then I had to step back and be like, all I can do is say, you know what? I apologize if I came off like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I just dropped.
And that's what we're missing. That's what we're missing in today's society. Too many people they're afraid of, a lot of them are afraid of repercussions from police and child services.
But
that's not to say that abuse does not happen. It does.
It happens. But in this show, it wasn't more they're afraid to discipline or chastise their kids for speaking to them. It was like it's acceptable. Like it's a joke. It's like we can talk to each other in our household however we want. I can cuss my kids off, call them dickheads, call them kind of stuff, and they can in return call me whatever they want to call me. And it's acceptable and it's a good. And you know where I see this going, Carmel Diva? You know how when all the real hood and black as fuck movies came out with the gang members, you know, like you know what I mean. But the hood movies, the gang show movies, and all that kind of stuff, Menace to Society, you know, those shows, and people was like, or the music. Tupac, you know, all those, the gangster rap and all that kind of stuff. Like people will say, "Oh, well, my kids know not what to say around me," or if they hear me playing this, they know not to go around and pick up a gun. I see it doing that with this show. Like people are going to be like, "Oh, so they cuss their parents out," you know, on the TV show. My kids know better. They won't do that to me. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I talk to my kids and I let them know, ain't no way in hell. I told my son when he was, just starting school,
hey,
I
Carla.
said, you know what? I said, let me find out that you in a gang.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to personally do is I'm going to come to you when you with your little gang buddies, and I'm going to beat your ass down to the ground like you a stranger. And if they want some, they can get some too. Because I'm not having it. Period.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm so glad. I ain't saying I had the perfect angels by far. I'm just glad they grown. I'm glad that
you know.
But I mean, everybody raises their kids differently. And Carla Prince, she said in the chat, too many people don't want to be a parent. You know, that's true.
Yeah.
A lot of people prefer to be like their kid's friend. Like I see that in this TV show. Like there was a lot of comedy in the show, but there's a lot of stuff where I'm looking like, I can't believe you just said that to your kid, or you just allowed your kid to say that to you. I can't believe that. I just, some of the stuff was just unbelievable. It's like, come on now.
You know, like I said, it has to have some kind of entertainment value. It doesn't necessarily reflect his personal or Rashida's she ain't got no kids. But
well, they did say that's how they said this replicates their life. Like, so this is like their life.
When did they say that, or where did they say that?
That's what he said in his interviews and stuff, and when he be talking about the show. This is
okay. Because see, I haven't seen any.
This is not just a TV show. This is like replicating their family.
Well, I don't know what kind of family he grew up in.
That's what I'm saying. It's not just a TV show. It's not just a show. I'm not saying it's like a bio or a biopic or nothing, but it's based off of their family.
Well, I would say it's probably loosely based on his family. I don't think everything that they are saying and doing is necessarily representative of their family, or how they were raised, or how they're raising their kids. But I could be wrong. I have been wrong before, once or twice.
What's up, Mark?
Oh, right. No. I don't. Again,
it was based off of his. Am I the only one who heard that?
I think so.
I was trying to look for it to see, if I could find where it says it was based off of that.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, he lives a lot different life than I would. I know Chianti had made a derogatory statement early, so we're gonna get into that hopefully pretty soon. But
let's get into it right now. Right now.
What I say?
You know what you
and look, don't be using my government name on here, okay?
You know what you said in our the Hood Table Facebook group.
What I do?
Or is that opinion? That was one of the groups that we in. You said
Mark
of you. So we want to know, what did you mean? How does Mark correlate or remind you of the family?
When I first started watching it, I think it was just his interaction, I want to say it's more of his mannerisms and just how he never really got excited about stuff. He was just kind of like, okay, you know what, blah blah blah. He said what he had to say, and he went on about his business. If that ain't Nichols gonna say what he gotta say and keep it pushing.
Well, see, I don't know how he does normally in his everyday with his kids, and I don't see him that quiet like that.
I ought to call my daughter's here. I ought to call her up here, but
I mean,
I think I was totally different when it came to that. I think that, you know, as a father, you know, and I was younger. You know, you talking about in your 30s then, and now I'm 50s, and the old man who cooks and takes care of the grandkids and changes diapers and stuff. So totally, I think totally different. But yeah, that dude there, I was so not him. My kids talk about it now, how I yelled and screamed, I cussed. You know, even on my page, you can see some of my old parents on my track team and football team, and they'll talk about, you know, how I was back then, and boisterous, and you know, just totally different than now. I think, you know, as you mature, you evolve. And I don't know if raising your children like that is doing them any favors either. That's just me. Their friend, because they're going to certainly come a time, especially with young men, when you can't be their friend as they go into puberty and adulthood. They get 15 and 16, and as we say in our community, start smelling yourself. And you know, that happened to me quite a few times with my two sons. And you know, and it happened with me, with my father, and my three brothers as well, with our father. So at every turn, that young men are going to, you know, it's just like when lions run off the young cubs, and when they get about 2 or 3 years old, because they understand that there can't be two kings. There can't be two. And one has to be subordinate to the other. And if they're not willing to be subordinate, then you're going to have a real issue on your hands. So yeah, I just don't see any of my partners or any of my friends acting like he does with me.
Well, this is gonna be the first and last time that I ever apologize to you.
Oh no, it's all good.
So you better record this and frame it. I am sorry for the comparison.
Oh, it wasn't even. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Now, moving on. Somebody out there watching. Moving on.
Well, I tell you, some people.
You guys are crazy. For y'all watching, they are really, really good friends.
No, we're not. No, we are not.
They just like to fight like brothers and sisters sometimes.
Yeah, okay, angry Alice.
I guess. So you revealing too many secrets. That's why I don't like you. Don't nobody know who that is. It's 2 people in the whole world that know who that is. Well, 3. What? Including myself. Don't nobody else know who that is.
Lord have mercy.
You counted yourself?
I said including me, so that's 3. Me, you, and the deacon.
Where's the deacon? Oh, Lord.
I talked to him the other day, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Tony the deacon.
Deacon do wrong, can't do right.
Do right. But
I caught that Scooby-Doo.
He said he was gonna come on the show one day, but I ain't heard from him in a minute, so I don't know. I don't know, but that would be nice to have him on the show. But I know a lot of people don't think that the show will be renewed.
I saw where people are wondering if the show will be renewed.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't think he cares. He got 3 hot shows going on right now.
Right. Yeah.
We got Blackish, Mixedish, and what's
Grownish.
the Grownish.
Yep, and he just did he's doing what's that show?
He did like a movie or something, didn't he?
He did Shaft, he did Little, he did Girls Trip. He actually penned that film, so he wrote that film.
Right.
So he does
straight.
The Game, Soul Food, Grownish, Mixes. It's more, that he did, but he's from Inglewood. He's from Inglewood. Yeah. California, so he's definitely like from like the inner city.
He from the hood.
From the hood.
I mean, it ain't South Central, but it's hood.
But yeah, a lot of people don't think it really replicates the Black as fuck family, and so they're saying Netflix is I guess they're going through something right now where they're trying to determine if they're going to have it come out for a season 2, because it's a lot of controversy and backlash that they're getting. And it's not mainly to Netflix, it's to him.
Kenya.
To Kenya.
See, for me, me personally, I would rather see this than to see them on their basically behaving like Love and Hip Hop or Black Ink Crew or any of that other BS where they on there fighting and all the ghetto slang and the purple and green hair and all of that. I'm like, that's not cute. You ain't grew no purple hair. Cut it out.
Yeah, the girl did have a lot of purple hair. He was like, what did you do to your hair? It's my hair and I can do what I want. I'm like,
see, if he'd have told her he liked it, she'd have dyed it black. She'd have dyed it jet black.
Or yellow or blonde or snow. Right. Just something to be defiant. Just something to be defiant. But it just makes you definitely think and look at it from a different perspective of what.
No, Maurice, the new BET is VH1.
I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm surprised Blackish lasted.
And they say Blackish is like, they say this is more of a spin of Blackish, except with their cursing. Yeah.
Yeah. I watch Blackish now. Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it because it does represent some of the things that you have to go through as a Black person. Am I Black enough? Am I being Black enough? Am I going to be accepted by my own culture?
Yeah.
The problem that I have, I even have my daughter's boyfriend. He's a darker complected young man, and he makes comments every now and again, and I catch, and sometimes I don't say anything, but one day I did. And I asked, bother you? And when we had this conversation, I had to let him know that when you say things like that, what happens is it tells a lot about yourself, because you're your own not being satisfied with how you look on
and
someone
your inner
else.
self-hate, basically.
Right. And a person who loves themselves doesn't project hate on another. I'll say it again: a person who loves themselves does not project hate on another. It's just like the brown paper bag rule that was in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and we talked about what certain people could do and what they couldn't do, and what organizations they could be in and what organizations they couldn't be in. And it certainly is telling about those people who didn't love themselves, because they said if you're darker than a brown paper bag, then you're too dark. That
Yeah.
because most of them were products of someone who was absolutely dark and someone who was pale as or white as the driven snow. And it doesn't make you any better uh, uh, because of it. Again, we are brainwashed to believe that we're not good enough. And the minute that we understand that all of us are in the same game, I think the better off we're going to be. But we're a very long way, even though a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have remained the same.
See, now, as far as, like, I brought it up earlier. I said we'll revisit that later. But I had been wanting to talk about this colorism that everybody is speaking on, and how it's dividing us. And I'm like, why? Why does it matter? What does my complexion have to do with you? Your success or your failure? What does that have to do with you?
Well, I think it's preconceived notion, meaning that you had it easier because you're light skinned and I'm dark, while I had to go through different struggles, and not understanding that, and excuse my language, but once an N, always an N. It doesn't matter to them. They might play both hands against the middle to get you to do something that, to make you feel like you belong.
Right.
But the reality is, at the end of the day, and I lived this life for the last almost 30 years of being that person who, although they'll let you in the club for the look, you're really not accepted because of the look. So what I did when I held it open for everybody else. I didn't care what you look like, dark, light, white, woman, Latino, brown. I'm trying to let everybody in the door.
Yeah, me and you, we've had that conversation before about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So the people who really thought that I was whitewashed really found out that I was only nigga in the group by letting everybody else and hiring everybody else.
So how you think you got here? It wasn't him.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I've had that discussion with somebody face to face. We thought you were whitewashed, but you're the one that's letting everybody in the door. You're the one that's trying to tell everybody on the slide, what to do and what not to do, how to talk, how not to talk, and how to bring things up without being controversial and getting them in the end. Because you don't have to act the part that they think you're going to act in order to get what you need and what you want. And sometimes you have to learn how to play the game in order to be successful at the game and to allow everyone else in the door. And that's what, that's what's happened for me over the course of the last 10 years or so. I came into an organization where I was one of two blacks. And nobody who looked like me held the position that I held. And then I get hired on, and now we got like 15. I have 3 women that are working for me of color. And so, and I'm the only one that hired the women of color. And I have a very diverse group of people, the 14, 15 people that work for me, very diverse group. And so not just older Caucasian men.
That's what's up.
And so we have to understand our position too, the role that we play each other, not give each other a handout, but also teach. They used to say each one teach one, and we have to teach, and those who are being taught have to be open to that knowledge and receiving it.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I got a correction. I don't know where I saw that I had heard that the family was. It kind of correlated with their life. But what I found, hold on. I guess when the show first was spoken about before it, premiered. So this was probably like a year ago on Twitter. Because the show, it actually had a different name before.
Yeah.
The show should have been called, was going to be called Black Excellence.
Which I think might have been a more fitting name.
Probably. I think so. And he actually said, it was formerly titled Black Excellence. A Black-ish-er is a how do you say that? Monocumentary style. Yeah, monocumentary style series, which follows Kenya Barris, who plays himself in a fictionalized version of his family as they deal with various new money Black people problems. And then it went on to say, in December of last year, when Netflix debuted the Black Excellence title and paired it with the cast, the picture, that photo with them all in front of the plane. And it said it was really light-skinned Black people with loose curly hair, just like the cast of his Black-sis, Mixed-sis, and Grownish series. They said Barris was dragged to hell on Twitter. And if
that's his family, then...
And he had, he had deleted some of the tweets because he was defending the plight of mixed race Black people and derided discussions of colorism as diversive. He said, I really appreciate your comments and I hardly ever react to social media, but this cut me a little. He said, because these kids look just like my kids, my very Black, real kids, and they face discrimination every day from others outside our culture. And I don't want them to also see it from us. So what do y'all think about that? That makes it a little bit more clearer to me as far as the title of the show, Black AF. Like some people think you curly head, you light skin, you speak proper.
And that was why I brought up part of the reason why I brought up the issue of colorism is because, and I see it on YouTube a lot. And it's almost like, because I'm light skinned, I'm not as Black as you. My experience ain't as hard as yours. It may be I live next door to you. So I see the police rolling through. I seen so and so get shot. I go to the store. You think they don't look me up and down? You think they don't follow me when I go to work? You don't think I gotta work twice as hard? That's like, when I was still working up at the hospital, it kind of pissed me off because in that whole section of the hospital where I worked, there was only 6 Black nurses for 8 floors. 8 floors of medical offices, 6 Black nurses. So that meant I had to come in and be smarter than the others, work harder than the others, be better than the others, and still try to do this with a damn smile on my face. Oh, come on back, sweetheart. Yeah, we've been waiting on you. When I leave, I still got to deal with society because to them, they don't know that I done worked hard for 10 hours a day. All they know is I'm another Black woman. For them, they probably think I'm some kind of bitter Black woman, a single mom with an attitude and this and that. I go home and my babies, all they care is that mommy's home. They don't know how the world treated me. And so for people who I just hate that there are people who are so divisive about skin color amongst ourselves. All the other shit in the world we got to deal with, that we have to live with, that we got to fight against. Now I got to fight against you, my sister, because I'm lighter than you? So you mean all them A's I earned in college, I didn't earn them? I got them because I was light skinned, right? Is that what you're saying?
Again, you have to meet people where they are. And unfortunately, ignorance knows no bounds.
Right.
I'll say it one more time because I don't think people really understand it. Ignorance knows no bounds. People will look at every excuse for their own failures or for their own shortcomings to blame anyone. And when they run out of people to blame, they might start looking at dogs and cats before they look at the mirror. This is a serious issue that, that we have to learn how to overcome. I mean, it's not, I don't think it's easy. For damn sure, I don't think that it happens overnight, but I'll tell you, there's one night that I got promoted above some of my peers that had been there. Yeah, well, this was a long time ago. And they had treated me. It's all good. They treated me bad when I first came onto the job, some 18 years ago. But I had a lot of experience, and I got promoted above them to be the supervisor or whatever. And I heard them one day when I came in. I went to my office, and 3 of them were together in the same office. And they said they gave it to the affirmative action nigger hire. And I heard it. Girl, please. Because the pen is always going to be mightier than the sword. Yeah, it's a word for me. And I think the character of a man is how he treats others, after they've treated him really bad. And so I did right by them because I do believe in karma too. I believe that, all the things that they had done to me before, before I was the supervisor, just came home to roost anyway. And so they got their comeuppance. What we have to do is learn how to deal with those people, even on the job, and not allow them to bait us into some of these confrontational things where we retaliate, because everybody knows that he who retaliates is the one that normally gets charged with the crime.
Right.
Exactly.
Not the initiates, because it's the bait move. They baited you in, allowed you to do something out of character, so people could say, but you didn't keep your cool and you were in the wrong. You should have just told the right people or whatever. And I always thought that I could do way more damage being in the door than standing on the outside looking in. I think these are the things that we have to understand when we're going into business. And I just really believe that even in my morning post, this is what I'm trying to tell everyone every morning: how to deal with these people, even when you don't want to, even how to deal with your family, even when they're talking about you and thinking that you're better than them. And it's not that you're better than them, it's just that they think so.
Yeah.
And you have to just call it like it is. They think that you think you're better, because it's them who really thinks that you're better. Right. And all you're doing is going through life trying to become something or reach your goals and or destination. The same with this television show. One of your readers said that they have to have one black show on a major network, and Netflix is like BET. And my thing is, get that opportunity, then do it like Bill Cosby did. Be someone that is going to make sure that people who are watching you are affected positively by what they see, not by coonery and clowning. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess the Black Excellence. So you think they should have kept the name Black Excellence, Karma Diva? Sure. You think that?
I think so.
I think it
would have been more fitting.
Yeah, to me it would have been more fitting. I mean, I don't know if it's too late to even try to go a different route after you done gave a show a title.
It's been plenty of shows that's renamed itself and same characters, same, premise. Mm-hmm. So I think that maybe that will be a better route for him to go.
Yeah, because I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling the name of the show, and I don't know. And I thought like maybe after it's 8 episodes in the show, so I thought maybe after the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, I could see why they call it Black as Fuck, but I couldn't correlate that with what I was watching.
Now I say this on the flip side of that, maybe compared to some of the people he work with, he black as fuck. You see what I'm saying? His lifestyle. Yeah, some of them white folks may think, oh, he black as fuck. Not talking about skin color, but just maybe the behavior, the attitude, the mentality. Because, it's a lot of times we think we doing all right and we doing our best to, be on point, but we still ain't good enough for the Karens and Brads of the world.
If we're going by mentally, I think that black as fuck probably it defines him. See, I might be saying that wrong.
And then again, he may have named it that because he couldn't name Blackish as fuck.
Yeah, because as far as the rest of them, I'm like, I just to me it just seemed like a whole bunch of spoiled kids who get their way, who get to cuss out their parents whenever they want. And as far as black as fuck, I just didn't correlate that with them. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into it wrong.
Well, I think when you talk about a name, one of the things that when you name something, then the goal is, you name something, you work hard to be that. So when you name something, and I'm going to be this. And so what the difference is, black as fuck, now you got them trying to do, which looks very odd coming from them, the pounds, the daps, all these other things. But when you talk about black excellence, now let's talk about black excellence. It will actually drive you to do things that those who consider themselves moving in a direction of excellence would do. How they walk, how they talk, how they address you. Although we can go to the barbershop and I go to the barbershop here. I go to the shop in Inglewood. I have a shop in Miami, and I also have one out in Omaha that I go to. And I have. I was gonna say,
we know you got one here.
But it's a different atmosphere.
Everywhere
you go. Yeah,
I'm in San Diego.
I'm down in Miami. The Puerto Ricans, and it's a whole different feel when I'm there. And then I'm out in Inglewood. I got a brother out there that does that man shave off of Manchester, and we really, it's a whole different feel. And here, totally different. But the thing that's all encompassing is the same conversation, the same way, the same folks from the same background. No matter if it's the rich dude who drives a Benz. No matter if it's a dude with the little Honda Accord who comes in, we are all conversing in the same manner and looking for the same things. And so that's why I think, when you talk about black excellence, it makes a difference versus black as fuck. Because now I'm trying to be black as fuck. Something that a lot of black people that are from the hood won't be able to identify with. And hence why it will not go. I don't think it is going to go far.
I don't think it's.
A thought just occurred to me. Could he have named this show Black as Fuck because he's from the hood and he's living a totally different life and he's still trying to hold on to being black as fuck?
And see, that's why I think it defines him, but the rest of them, it's like he's one of those families where it seems like him and his wife probably came from a struggle that their children have no idea what that's about. And he seems to act all hardcore and gangsta and all this swag and all this, hip hoppity hop. You know what I'm saying? Everything in his closet, all his clothes is
with some joggers,
sweatshirts, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Maurice, don't start tonight. Don't start tonight.
Sneakers, and then you got his kids walking around with purple hair and cussing their parents out, and I'm like, who on here is black as fuck? Like,
hey, Miss Gen Xer.
It don't have nothing to do with me with skin complexion because y'all let me know how it was for y'all back in the day. Like, okay, y'all remember back in the day when it was like dark skin was more in at a certain point, then light skin was more in at a certain point. But I remember a point in time when light skin was a lot of girls or a lot of people at one
That
point.
DeBarge, Jet Flip, yeah.
Okay. And then there was a time when some people was like all into the light skin, but I can recall growing up, a lot of light skinned guys seemed like to try to go an extra mile to act like they were just as good as the dark skinned ones, you know, out there in the streets hustling and trying to be all hard and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Do y'all remember any of that kind of stuff growing up? Look at my oh, I think
you know,
I ain't saying nothing.
Well, you know, I had to fight a lot. I had some partners, you know, that I had to fight a lot. I mean, because you were looked at as soft, you know what I'm saying? And one of the issues that you had to prove yourself almost every day. The good thing about that is now is I don't have to prove myself anymore. It is what it is. I am what I am, and I stand for what I stand for. And you know, like they say, I said what I said. It does. You overcompensated because you were thought of differently as a light skinned man. You were looked at a little, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't as good in sports. Did basketball, football, baseball, running, track and field, anything. So you had to be really good at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to prove yourself because you were tainted, so to speak.
Right. Hey, Miss M, how you doing?
Welcome to the panel, ma'am.
Hey, y'all.
What do you got to say about this TV show? Have you checked it out on Netflix?
My TV has been.
Well, it's actually on
for a year.
But you can watch. You know.
That's right.
On your phone.
But Netflix. You know what? In my last year of college, I got off Netflix. I felt like I had watched everything already. I graduated from college in 2016. My old ass, like seriously.
It's been like 1,000 new shows that came on Netflix.
Right.
I was done with Netflix in like 2014 though.
Oh shoot, child.
Maurice, I don't know what's going on tonight.
That's the Netflix is the next best thing to cable, if you ask me.
Right. That's the best thing since Kool-Aid, if you ask me.
Yeah. But that's what we were discussing tonight. We were discussing that new TV show on Netflix called Black as Fuck.
Oh yeah, I saw the title, but yeah, I know what it was. I know what it meant. Oh no. So what is it though? What is it?
Well, okay, you know Grownish, right? The TV show Grownish.
I've only seen that word for the first time today because I'm at somebody else.
Lisa.
Okay, we don't have to get you some Netflix.
Y'all have to hit me to the game because I don't know what in the world's going on.
Okay, if you ain't got the cable, I get it because I don't want it half the time either. But you gotta get the Netflix. Hey Lisa, hey cousin. Lisa, Miss Husker.
To date with Lisa.
Hey Miss Husker Chick. Click the link in the chat if you want to join the stream. If you want to come on the screen.
Come on in.
Come on, Husker Chick. But what's your definition, empath, of, I can ask you this, even though if you didn't watch the show, what's your definition of black as fuck to you? Do you think
seriously, I cannot come up with a definition for it because that's not something I've ever heard of, like really before tonight. I mean, I don't know. Like, what is it? I don't know. Because it really depends on who you ask. because I mean, asking me, I don't even know. I don't know what it means because I feel like I think that almost immediately it almost immediately takes me to what Kodak Black that comment he made talking about I'm already black as fuck. I don't want to fuck with no black bitches. You know, like
Kodak
like,
Black.
I don't want no black ass kid. Like, what?
Ain't that the dude who was dating? Was that
You know, if that's the one I'm thinking about, he looked like a grizzly bear. So how can he talk about anybody? It's called look in the mirror first, and then
he definitely needs to set his little crazy ass down.
Well,
Maurice,
if he hear one more username and password, I'm gonna cancel my Netflix and piggyback.
I told him I'm not dealing with him tonight.
Maurice be on one. Husker chick, aka Lisa. She said I look a hot mess, but I'll keep watching y'all. I'm good. It's okay. I just dropped the link just in case anybody wants to join. But yeah.
Okay, Lisa, I look a hot mess too. My braids about 2 weeks old. Yeah, I stay.
People is quarantined, and there's people not able to get their nails done, their hair did, their feet did. I seen somebody talking on Facebook the other day talking about I just have to do my feet for the first time and don't know how long this sucks. And a lot of people get their hair cut.
I'm enjoying everybody else being inside because I'm usually inside, but now that everybody else inside, I can come outside. So,
well, the most I get outside is running to the store every afternoon. I need to be on
the freeway like 90 miles an hour, and ain't nobody out there.
Yeah. Well,
pay too much. Let me stop.
Well, I'm gonna see y'all. A lot of people don't think the show is gonna make it to season 2. We shall see. Again, I'm not saying I hated the show because I actually thought it was really entertaining. It just wasn't what I expected it to be. From the title, I feel like they probably should have kept the other title, Black Excellence, instead of the Black as far. And who knows? They might change the name. They might. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see it being as successful as. And I see why it's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's on Netflix and not on one of the major network channels on television because of all the cussing but they do a lot of cussing on these TV shows nowadays anyway too, don't they? Karma Diva.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Younger, yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why it went straight to Netflix. Why he chose that route because all his other shows did really well.
Whose show is it?
Television. Kenya Barris. Who created Grownish and Blackish and Mixed. He did Girls Trip, The Game. He did a lot of different shows. A lot of different shows.
Yeah, I was really shocked to hear that he had done The Game.
Yeah, me too.
I
was even more shocked when they say he penned Girl Trip.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. I don't think he produced it or anything like that. I think he just wrote it. I think, or he put the idea out there or something. Is that what that means when they say penned it? Like they?
No, that means he wrote it. He wrote the concept and probably the screenplay. But I mean,
yeah, that's probably what it did. But anywho, if anybody has not watched it, please watch it. Please check it out. After you watch it, feel free to come back to the video, comment your thoughts on the show underneath the video, and let us know what you think. Let us know how you feel about the oh Lord, I'm reading something real quick. Yeah, let us know how you feel about that. But thanks, Mark, for coming on tonight to chit chat with us about this TV show. It was so fun to have you on here, and you're always welcome to the hood table.
Oh yeah.
No, he ain't.
Yeah, you are.
Don't lie to him.
Yes, you are.
Don't lie to him.
And when are you coming back to the O?
I keep some in
Probably another couple weeks. As soon as this thing is lifted, I was supposed to be there this weekend. My nephew's getting married Friday, and I was supposed to be there.
What?
So how are they doing?
Yeah.
How are they doing the airplanes? Like
They're doing it like how they doing it is they're not renting any of the middle seats out. So if you get on a plane, you can only sit on the window or on the aisle. You can't sit in the middle.
Oh, that's cool. I would like that.
So you can sit, 3 or 4 feet apart, whatever.
Oh, okay. All right. So
They should have been doing that.
if you travel with somebody, like say it's you and your kids, or you and your wife, or you and your husband, they let y'all sit together, right?
Well, I think you have to buy tickets that be separate, and then if you want to sit next to each other, you sit next to each other. But right now, they're just selling tickets. They're not selling it for the middle seats.
What?
Hey.
They're not selling it for the seats.
Okay. I was wondering about that because a lot of people are talking about, oh, the planes are so cheap. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of scared, like, to get on a plane and it's so confined. And like the dude who flew all the way from New York to Florida and he knew he had it. And then they had to quarantine.
What?
And they had to quarantine all the people. They had to put that on. And it was a hot mess. A hot mess.
Wow. What the hell? What?
Yes, hot mess. Hold up. But anywho, y'all, it's getting late. It's almost 10:30. I know, Mark.
You're done already?
Yeah, we've been on here for an hour.
We've been on.
Well, I don't know why in the world I just got the notification.
Because YouTube, honestly, YouTube has been tripping. A lot of people haven't been getting notifications. I've been getting notifications for videos
Heart to heart.
like a day before. So
What?
I don't know, but it is. But Maurice said he ain't even watched it. He said all he watches Empire, Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, and Good Times. Oh yeah, Heart to Heart.
I ain't watched a minute of Empire this season.
Really? Oh, it was good.
I ain't watched Empire. I ain't watched Empire since 2016. But I was pregnant and my ex came through my window. That's a whole other story.
Oh, child, we might have to talk about that next week. we can have a show on the exes if y'all want. We can talk.
Oh yes, we must definitely need to do that.
About all the exes.
Oh yeah. We most definitely.
I'm gonna need some dark liquor for that.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. That'll be a good one.
That would be a good one.
Because they all crazy when you ask me. Like, what the hell is going on? Oh my goodness. They all, oh my gosh. The hell, what's
wrong with them? Okay, y'all. Well, y'all, I'm just reading these
baby.
Yeah, man. But anyway, thanks for everybody coming on tonight. I know Mark is down south down there, and you like an hour ahead of us, so it's going on midnight where you at. So I don't want to keep you up too late. I know everybody most of us got to work in the morning. So thanks for tuning in tonight, everybody. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, we're going to be doing a interview Saturday night. The author of the book called Untold Secrets is about an apostle, a preacher, who was raped by his family members, his mother and uncle, for years, starting at the age of 3 years old. So it talks about him going through that for many years of his life and trying to get out of that situation and being bounced around foster homes, youth centers. I mean, the different people, I'm
sorry, y'all. I hit a wrong button.
It's okay, Carmelita. But yeah, so everybody, please tune in Saturday night. That is going to be interview.
Very emotional.
Very emotional interview. I'm looking forward to it though, because we all know, me and Carmel Diva had the conversation before. A lot of men don't like to talk about that kind of stuff. They don't like. They sometimes things like
Hell
that,
no.
like they will take that to the grave sometimes, or
Right.
they only tell one or two people in their entire life. And this child kept speaking out and speaking out and speaking out, and nobody believed him. It went over deaf ears, and all that time he was being raped and molested, incest, by his own mother and his uncle and others. It just went to a whole nother level, and he had to battle that for years. And now he's a minister and apostle.
But God.
So
He's an apostle, yeah.
Yep, and the book is called Untold Secrets. So we will be having him on our show. It's going to be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Saturday. So you guys make sure you hit the notification bell. Hopefully the notifications go off on Saturday, because YouTube, you know what? It has to do with the corona too. The pandemic. A lot of people are not working right now, and I know you have been backed up. So, we can just do what we can do right now. But yeah, I'll be sharing the link, over the next few days to remind people to tune in Saturday night. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and I hope to see everybody there. Mark, you can tune in for that if you like on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That sounds good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I read the book, and the book, I'm telling you, I was like, it was like an emotional roller coaster reading that book. I was like, whoa, I cannot believe. I mean, I can believe it, but you know how you can't believe, but you can believe, like.
And he's a very, very intelligent,
yes,
friendly, personable person. And to speak with him and to see him, you would not
believe that at all.
It don't. You know how some people, you can see what they've been through on their face. You can't tell.
Yeah,
you can't tell. And that's a testimony to him being able to overcome with the strength of God.
Yeah. And that's exactly why I want people to tune in, not just because of the story, but to see how he went from there to where he is now, with his belief in God and his faith in God and everything. But yeah, go ahead, Empath. What was you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say, I agree, but you could tell sometimes by what you see in a person physically, and then also, like I can tell. I mean, my name is Empath for a reason. I can feel a lot of things that's going on with people. And people wonder why I stick to myself. I just do not want to be feeling everybody's emotions all the time.
Yeah.
Because it wreaks havoc on me. I can feel too darn much. It's too much. But I have someone in my life, had, who I just know his father used to molest him and possibly his brothers as well.
Oh, wow.
And he never told me that. But like I pretty much I just know it. And he is basically a sex addict.
That does happen sometimes when people, stuff like that. They either turn out to be a sex addict, or sometimes they turn out to be a predator, or stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, I hope
we'll touch on a lot of those subjects on Saturday.
We touch on a lot of that stuff Saturday. You're right, Carmel Diva.
Okay. Yeah. Let's fire it up.
Yes. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be a great show, everybody. Again, Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Untold Secret is the name of the book, and we're going to be interviewing the author and him letting us know about everything he went through, dealing with incest, rape, he getting beaten, abused, just all kind of stuff that he went through growing up, and how he came out of that situation and became the person that he is today. So with that being said, everybody, in the meantime and in the meantime, stay safe.
Holla at you, girls.
Thanks
All
for
right,
having
I'm
me.
sorry.
Thank you for y'all.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's all right. Thanks for coming, Mark. Thanks, Kat. How she gonna take my line? I mean, how she gonna steal my line? And then gonna look at me. No. I see you. And then she stole my song. I'm gone, y'all. Be blessed. I'm gone. I'm gone.
Love you too. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
I still love you, but I'm gone.
All right, y'all. Good night.
All right.
Bye, Pap.
Next time.
All right. Later, Maurice, Lisa, everybody in the chat. I had not, Carla. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And don't forget, Saturday, 8:00 p.m. Be here or be square. Do they say that anymore? Anyway, I'm out. Deuces. Good night.